I wanted to come through and I wanted to talk about something that was on my mind. I was thinking about something, or should I say, what's on my denim. When you look at the word mind backwards, starting with the D, it's denim. So something was on my denim, and it's been on there for a minute. I pick and choose my words very carefully. Has anyone noticed? I'm just putting this out there in the omniverse or the universe or the whatever you want to call it. Has anyone noticed that since Trump has been elected in office, the reportings of the numerous killings of black men by racist white police officers has diminished increasingly? Hold up. I'm not saying, I know a lot of motherfuckers have a problem with comprehension. I'm not saying that they still don't happen. But if you remember, back in as far back as 2013, and it wasn't always police officers, but just shootings of young black men by racist, predatory, terroristic white males. If you notice that since Trump has been elected, you don't hear that as much. You don't hear about young black men being murdered in the street by police officers as much. They don't make the headline news as much. See, I've noticed shit like that. Now, like I said, let me go back to 2009. See, back in 2009, and I know that this was not the only case. I know it was not the only person or young black man that was murdered by, police officers. But I'm looking at it again from an occult view because I am the occult view. That's what I do. I'm looking at it from an occult standpoint, from an occult view. Okay, what's behind the hidden message or what's going on beneath the surface? That is what the occult does. We go into the hidden messages. We go into and we penetrate the beneath the surface to find out what's really going on. We get to the motherfucking white meat and beyond, and that's what I'm doing. Back in 2009, if people don't remember, there was a young man named Oscar Grant. I believe it was in California. Yeah, it was in California. Forgive me, but I do not know the city that it took place in California. But Oscar Grant was murdered by a white police officer. I believe he was Dutch or German or something like that. He was of Dutch or German descent, if I'm not mistaken. And Oscar Grant, I think he was at a train station with some friends, and this white cop, was targeting him, harassing him. We all know that that was a sacrifice because Oscar Grant must have been someone very significant spiritually. See, these motherfuckers just don't target, just anybody. They target people specifically for certain reasons, spiritual reasons, for their rituals and shit like that. We all should know that. So he murdered Oscar Grant, and they made a movie about it called Fruitvale Station, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the name of the movie. Okay. When Oscar Grant was murdered by that cop, when he was murdered, that set off a chain of events. Every time you turned around, you kept hearing about young black men being murdered either by white police officers unjustly or being murdered by white men unjustly in general. Okay? Every time you turned around, that is what you heard. Now, 8, 7, 6 years later, Trump gets elected, and you don't hear about young black men being murdered as much as you used to by white men or white police officers. Again, we know it still happens, but it's not making the headlines as it used to. Why is that? Well, I'm going to tell you, but I'm just saying that just for the sake of saying it. Why the fuck is that though? Well, we all know they were doing rituals, okay? And what I'm starting to really, understand and to realize is that the ritual for this particular energy, or well, how can I put this? The ritual to uplift and to usher in this current energy that we have now, it started, it really got off the ground around 2009. And when you break down 2009, okay, when you break down 2009, 2 plus 9 is 11, okay? 2 plus 9 is 11. So let's go back to 2008. 2008 was a beginning. It went back to the number 1. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So it went back to the beginning to start anew, to bring in a new type of fucking energy. That is why Obama got elected. Obama ushered in the watered down black person, or the watered down niggas that we see now. He ushered in that energy back in 2008. And yeah, I voted for him twice. Yeah, I did, because back then I wasn't as conscious as I am now. You know, I wasn't as conscious as I am now. So yeah, I voted for him twice. So the more I'm looking, and this information just came to me because, sometimes when I'm sitting quietly, I'll start getting channels and I'll start seeing things. And I've seen things about Obama in the spiritual. I'll just say that much, because I can't even, I don't know how to break it down where people would understand it. I understand it, But Obama ushered in this new type of nigga that we see now, the watered down nigga. So they had to do the sacrifices to this, to bring in this fucking energy. So Oscar Grant, he was one of the fucking sacrifices. So now that Trump is elected, now that Trump is elected, we don't hear about black men being murdered by police officers as much anymore. That's because they did the ritual, they did the motherfucking sacrifices, and they did whatever they needed to do to usher in the energy so that Trump can get elected and bring in his whatever type of fucking energy that he didn't brought in, and I don't even know what it is, but it is what it is. So now you have a white racist man as the president, whatever you want to call him, and now you have black people who can't do anything about it because they've watered down all of the black men, and they've killed off all of the black men who really could challenge that energy. That's why they took out Darren Seals, and that's why they took out Marion Christopher Barry, the son of Marion Barry. That's why they took them out, because they were masculine forms of the energy of Mayat. Mayat is about justice and equality and stabilization. Okay? So it all ties back in with each other. Obama brought in the watered down, he brought in that new energy for the watered down nigga, so that when Trump came in, niggas would not fight it. Niggas would not really fight this new type of energy in the way that we are supposed to. Instead of going to Charlottesville, Virginia, because some goddamn white man don't like black people, that ain't what we should be fucking doing. We should be doing our motherfucking work in our motherfucking mind to shut this motherfucking shit down using our motherfucking magic. That's what we should have been doing, but that's another fucking story. Some of us are, though. Wink. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Okay? just putting everything in perspective, and everything is starting to look clearer and clearer for me now in regards to, what's happening now. Because here in DC, especially here in DC, these niggas are dead. They are absolutely fucking dead. They are dead. There's just nothing there for the most part. There are hardly any conscious people in DC. I'm probably the only one. And if there are any other conscious motherfuckers and black motherfuckers in DC, they probably were not born here. Okay? Because I've told people, before, you know, um, DC, it's not known for producing, conscious niggas. The only conscious nigga that I recognize consciousness in that lived here in DC was Christopher Berry, Marion Christopher Berry. That was the only one that I could see the consciousness in. That was the only one because, like I said, he was a masculine form of Mayat. Mayat represents duality as well, you know. So again, going back to Oscar Grant, he was the sacrifice to usher in that watered down Negro that Obama represented and symbolized. That is why they allowed Obama to get elected. That was a whole fucking ritual. Yeah, I was a part of it because I wasn't as conscious as I am now, but I woke the fuck up. That's why they kept calling it the Obama deception. Fuck the politics and all that bullshit. I'm looking at it from an occult standpoint. Okay? From an occult standpoint. And they had to do that so they could usher in Trump and all this other bullshit that's going on now. And they had to water down and take out the strong black male figure so they could have the shit going on now that they're doing. And nobody would fight back. That's why we have what we have now. And I'm looking at a lot of black men now, and at one time, black men didn't get all these fucking tattoos and all that type of motherfucking shit. We didn't do that. We didn't do all that bullshit. That was white boy shit. But there's an assimilation that is taking place as well. So Obama brought in the assimilation of black people and black men in particular. He was the assimilated Negro. That was the energy that he brought in, and Oscar Grant was one of the sacrifices. He was one of the sacrifices. So all of this shit, it all connects. It all connects. It just connects. They had to bring Obama in to water down and get the Negroes assimilated to make room for Trump and all of the shit that they want to do. And you have to look at the numbers and the different years that all this shit took place in. Okay? Because again, in 2008, 2 plus 8, that's 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And that goes back to the beginning because they use the same motif as the ancient Egyptian numerical system. They just don't tell us. And they mask it with these 4-digit fake years that they give us. They mask it with that because most people are not going to break it down that way. Most. But some of us do. You know? So Obama was a new type of energy to come in to help assimilate the Negroes. And it took 10 years, that's all, to do that motherfucking shit. Of course, it's been going on for a long time, but Obama really laid the groundwork. He put the icing on the cake to assimilate Negroes. DC is not even, like I said in a prior video, DC, the soul has been sucked out of fucking DC. DC has been totally assimilated. It doesn't even feel like DC anymore. And I'm going to tell you something. When Christopher Berry was taken out, Marion Barry's son, when they took him out, his energy was very powerful. Christopher was a very powerful person. When they took him out, that destabilized the energy in this motherfucking city. And I felt it. I felt it. Because since he has been dead, this city has died. It has died. The soul of this motherfucking city has died since he has transitioned. And that's because he was a stabilizing, equalizing, balancing energy. He was the masculine form of Mayat. And I guarantee you, the people in Ferguson, Missouri, they will tell you the exact same thing about Darren Seals. They will tell you that since he has been dead, there has been a destabilization of the energy in Ferguson, Missouri. You don't even hear anything about Ferguson, Missouri anymore. That's because they have assimilation and gentrification, all of that bullshit. They've completed it. Same thing here in DC. The black people here in DC, I can't stand these motherfuckers because they act, their spirit, how they move, how they talk, their intentions remind me that of a racist white woman and man. Just facts. When you remove the balance, when you remove the balance, it causes a destabilization in the energy. And like I said, and all of this, and it's no coincidence. Like I said in my video, I don't want to make this about Christopher Berry and Darren Seals again, but all of this shit is connected. That's why I have to keep talking about it. I have been silent about this shit for 3 fucking years, but them spirits want me to talk about it. When you destabilize or remove the energy, when you remove the energy, or when remove the energy figures or whatever the case may be, it destabilizes the energy. Okay? And it's no coincidence that when Darren Seals died and Christopher Berry died, Trump was elected in November. That helped to get his ass in office too. Those were the sacrifices needed to get him in office as well. Okay? Remember, they burned Darren Seals. They shot him and then they put him in a car and set the car on fire. Definite, obvious ritual fucking sacrifice. And all of that was also used to propel, like I said in my prior videos, that was also used to propel this new resurgence of this women's right movement stuff that is ran by white racist feminist women mainly, and black women are following along with that bullshit. Now they're going to have another march, and no disrespect to the real sisters out there. Okay, I'm talking about these particular type of women who are following these white racist feminist women who are using their platform, and they're using whatever their magic or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They're using that to remove the black man. They're trying that it hurts the black man. And any of you gay men that support that bullshit, you're a part of it too. I don't support it. I don't support it, and I don't give a fuck who gets into their feelings about it. I don't support that bullshit. I don't support it. It's nothing against women's rights, but this is an agenda. This has nothing to do with equality and justice because they're removing the energy that brings equality and justice. They're removing that. But all of this shit is interconnected. And it's been a 10-year span. Okay? Obama helped to bring it in. He was the new type of assimilated Negro. He was the new assimilated Negro that came into power, or so-called power, in 2008 when he was elected. Oscar Grant, he was murdered in 2009 when Obama was inaugurated. Sacrifice, obviously, to help push this new energy through. Obviously. See, we have to stop looking at things from just the surface level. We have to start digging and digging until we get to what's really being hidden from us, you know, and what's really not being said. Because you don't hear anybody talking about Darren Seals. You don't hear anybody talking about Christopher Berry. You don't hear anybody talking about that. Okay? And there are other reasons why I know they took out Christopher Berry, but I'm not going to get into that because that's too personal. At least I'm not going to get into it right now. But I know some shit. It didn't come from the spiritual realm. Let me just say that. But that's all I have to say. I don't really have anything else to add. I had to put that out there. You know, when I get channels and them spirits want me to talk, I don't get any rest. They keep fucking with me until I say something about it, you know? And now it's time to not be silent anymore. Now it's time to just speak out and talk about this shit and to decode and see what's going on around you. Because that is what I do, because I am the occult view. And I think I might change my channel name from Seer Grant to the occult view, because that is what I do, the occult view. All right. But anyway, that's all I have to say for right now. I will come back with another video about something else whenever I feel the need to say something. All right.